everybody, Skax here, and welcome to a very fun video we're going to have for you today, guys. We are going to be talking about the Arsenal versus Manchester City Carabao Cup Final 2018. Now, apologies in advance if any of you guys want to hear anything positive about Arsenal from this point onwards, because you're not going to get that in this video. So, if you hadn't known, Arsenal did just finish a game against Manchester City in this year's Carabao Cup Final, and Arsenal played great. They played fantastically well and lost the game 3-0. I wish I could be saying that, but in actual fact, we actually played the worst I've ever seen Arsenal as an Arsenal fan from a little kid, basically. I've never, ever seen Arsenal play that bad. I watched when Arsenal lost 5-1 to Bayern Munich, and then in the following game lost 5-1 to Bayern Munich. So over 2 legs we lost 10-2. I watched those games from start to finish. I was basically torturing myself doing that. But that, what I just watched, was 10 times worse than that. In the second half, we went 2-0 down pretty early on to Vincent Kompany, who played amazingly well, showed why he's a Premier League player, showed why he is a Manchester City player. He basically did what he wanted. He won the corner against 2 of our defenders, just went up against them and said, you know what, I'm Vincent Kompany, I want to win this game. And then what happened? Resulting corner, he gets in there, strikers finish, diverts it past the keeper, and pretty much from that point, we didn't care. I think that was about 50, 60 minutes into the game. And Arsenal, they just said, no. Oh, what's the point? Why are we even here? And that is the kind of attitude that is not brought about, a lot of it, by the players, I think. It's Wenger. And I've stuck by Wenger for all these years. And the last few years, while everyone has been saying Wenger out, Wenger out, Wenger out, I've been with him. Not on a tie level, like an Arsenal fan TV who's just delusional, but on that level where I don't want to disrespect the man because all of what he's done for the club. I'm not going to be disrespectful to him, but I'm at that point now where I realise he is the problem. He is the one who is causing these terrible performances. And the board are responsible now because they're the ones who are letting Wenger stay in that job, and Wenger, in turn, is letting the players get away with that kind of performance you just saw against Manchester City, where you go 2-0 down, and there's no fight. Not one player showed fight. When no character in that team, there's no leader, they literally just said, you know what, you can have the game. And that was the mentality from the start. We showed a little bit of fight in the first 10-15 minutes. A little minute bit of fight. That's like Arsenal level fight, which is minimal to any other team. Bournemouth would have put in a better team to that, better match there. Bournemouth, Wigan, look what they did. They went up against Manchester City and they won the game. They found a way to win the game. Now we are talking about Arsene Wenger, who has God knows how many games experience at top level, Champions League level manager. And he does not know how to instill character into his team and leadership through that team because he's weak. He's completely weak. He doesn't care. Or that's wrong. That's too far. He does care about the team, but in the wrong way. He doesn't discipline his players. Because what happens? Ozil has a bad game. What happens? You can't bench him. Who are you going to put on? Who are you going to put on to replace Ozil? What happens if Aubameyang starts having bad games? Who are you going to put on? You've just bought Aubameyang. So you can't bench him. What are you going to put Welbeck on? Bloody Bambi. You can't play him up front. Can you imagine? We're against League 2 opposition. We play Welbeck. They're going to laugh. They're going to laugh at Welbeck. This is a Premier League team, and they'd be laughing at our striker. It's absolute joke. And as an Arsenal fan, it's getting to the point of just becoming hilarious. It must be absolutely hilarious for every team who goes up against us, because they just know as a team that we're just going to collapse. They just know it. They're just waiting for the moment. I mean, do you remember a couple of seasons ago when we kept playing Barcelona in the Champions League? They would just sit in the game, and just wait for the inevitable collapse that was going to happen, because they know that's what Arsenal do. They collapse. But in this game, what did you see? A complete collapse of the whole team. No character. There's no character in that team or leadership. And you saw that with City. They scored, and Mustafi. Do not get me started on Mustafi in this game. He was one of the worst performers. And before this game, I was thinking, right, they're playing Bravo at the back. What do we do? What do we do? Maybe shoot, because you're up against terrible keeper. And what happens? He ends up getting an assist in the game, because Mustafi is more concerned about him getting pushed instead of actually fighting for that. He just gave up, and then Koscielny just wasn't in the game at all, and he showed no character. You look at a comparison from a Manchester City perspective, they've got company. He showed complete character in that game, just wanted to drag them over the line and win that match. We had not one player who was trying to do that. I mean, I know many of you guys will say Jack Wilshere, but he focuses on the wrong things. He focuses on trying to get free kicks that we never score from. He dives all over the field. And I've had it with pretty much every Arsenal player. I've lost faith in all of them. And I've lost faith in Wenger now. And for me, that's the most important thing. Because losing faith in your manager, which many other Arsenal fans have done long ago with Wenger, seasons ago, because they say it's the same old rubbish. I'm starting to fall into that now. And to be honest, this to me is on the level of when England lost to Iceland. It is that kind of performance. And you remember what happened after the England-Iceland game? The manager resigned. He basically was so ashamed, he resigned. And Wenger, I highly recommend that you do that, because you should be ashamed of that performance. You seriously should. That was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from any football team. I've seen League Two and non-league teams, Sutton United, they would put in a better performance against Manchester City at that level and in that competition, because they'll actually want to win the game. They were just gutless, spineless cowards in that match, and they were absolutely shocking. And if that's what it means to be an Arsenal player, I don't want to be an Arsenal fan anymore. I'm serious. Because if that is what passes for an Arsenal performance, what is the point of being a fan of that? If you want to see that performance. So why would the board tolerate that as an Arsenal performance? And all these past years where we've been saying it's going to get better, we just need to get a few more players in. No. Look at the season now. Burnley and Leicester, who are not exceptional, no disrespect, they're almost overtaking us in the league. And it is absolutely shocking. We need to make changes, and we need to do it now, because that was the worst performance I've ever seen from an Arsenal perspective, and one of the worst performances ever in terms of football. So I just don't know what to say anymore as an Arsenal fan, because there's no positivity around this team anymore. It's just absolutely woeful. And I love Arsenal, and it makes me so mad to see performances like that, where it's a cup final. It's pretty much our only chance at silverware. I mean, do you honestly think we're going to go away in the San Siro against AC Milan and put in a performance? Barini's probably going to bag like 3-4 goals against us in the first leg. So do you honestly think, Wenger, that we're going to do anything and win anything? So why would you not? I mean, he put out a strong side, of course. He has the intention to win the game, but to allow them to collapse like that is just ridiculous. Do you remember against Tottenham. What happened in the Tottenham game that we lost, right? That recently. 1-0, we lost the game. Harry Kane. We should have lost it like 4-0. But when Tottenham scored, Arsenal, for some reason, went hell for leather, all up the other pitch. Basically 2 players defending, all the rest up the pitch, trying to desperately find an equaliser. In a Premier League game where we're never going to finish in the top 4, right? Remember that happened. Now in this game is a cup final. Now, you don't get any other chance at a cup final. Your Premier League title is gone, or your Premier League top 4 hopes are gone. This is a chance at silverware. Basically doing something to make the fans happy and winning a game, showing a good performance in a cup final. And what do? You show no character, no will, no desire to fight for that title. You just let the other team win. It's absolutely abysmal. It's not good of Arsenal standard, and it never, ever, ever should exist on a football pitch. That mentality, and Gary Neville was 100% spot on. Spineless fools. That's basically what they were. They were just spineless. They didn't show any character to get back into the game. And in this match, we go 1-0 down, and where was the hell for leather trying to get back in the game? It's a cup final. They just gave up. The second half, Man City were all over us pretty much the entire game, but they come out in the hunt for a second goal to kill the game off. Company basically did that single-handedly, and then what happens? Oh, yeah, let's just walk around the field and let's just not bother. Let's just exist on the football field and not show any ambition to want to win this game. Absolutely woeful on every single level. No character, no attitude, spineless, useless players. And it's been instilled by Wenger. I finally see that now, and I finally believe what all DT and all those other guys were saying long ago. I'm finally behind you guys, because it's absolutely shocking performance by Arsenal, and we are never, ever, ever going to get anywhere when you've got a manager who will abide by what he has just seen. If he does not quit or resign at the end of this match or at the end of the season, then what are the board doing? They're basically just allowing and permitting that performance, which is not acceptable. As an Arsenal performance, that is not acceptable. And any other football team, after seeing that, would sack their manager. If you were a top team. I'm not talking about if West Brom, Sutton United put in that performance, but if any other top team, Chelsea, Man United, if they've been playing half as bad and then they put in that performance in I say major, but is the least out of all the cups, but in a cup final, they put in that performance, the manager would be gone the next day, no shadow of a doubt. The board would remove him, the board would sack him, and it'd be game over for the manager. It's absolutely shocking. I can't believe I've witnessed that, and I don't know what else to say. I just do not know what else to say. So I think I'll just say that was it. I'm not doing any match ratings because the whole team were absolutely shocking. Not one player is even worth a 2. They all get 1 match ratings. They all are useless. They all need to be just sat down, and Wenger just sat down and just looked at psychologically, because that was just an absolute shambles of a performance. And I'm not giving them any more joy by talking about them anymore. That is it. That's all they get. That's all the airtime they get. I'm going to leave it here, guys. I don't know if you guys would have even enjoyed that basically 15-minute rant about Arsenal, but that it is what it is. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. They're absolutely terrible, and there's no way that is acceptable as an Arsenal performance. Any team would never accept that as a performance in a football match. So why should that kind of performance exist as an Arsenal showing in a cup final, no less? That's what I'll leave it on, guys. that was just shocking. It really was. And I might take a few days off now because I'm just seriously disheartened as an Arsenal fan. I might just take a few days off from talking about Arsenal, maybe even a week. I mean, I know we got the game coming up on Thursday, I think, where we're just going to get absolutely battered again by City. So I'll probably be doing a review for that, talking about another 4-0 loss or something like that. But yeah, it's very hard to be optimistic as an Arsenal fan anymore. It seriously is. It's one of the hardest things in the world to be together. So like optimist and an Arsenal fan, it just don't mix anymore. I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Hopefully you'll catch me in the next video where I'll be a bit more happy. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've been Skax. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you all very soon with another video. Hopefully a bit more positive than this one. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you guys very soon.